Hi, everyone. John Podluski here, founder of Wealthy Planet. Glad that you're having a look at Abby. Just want to give you some key insights to the world's greatest financial assistant. And so this is the data side. It should take you, if you've got your data on hand, it's going to take you like 10 minutes to upload that. We just want your family information, your dependents, shared accounts on the banking side and checking accounts, RSPs, TFSAs, all your debts, credit cards. Nothing is going to be taken that is an actual account number, so not to be worried about that. Your expenses, both discretionary and non-discretionary, your mortgages, and then finally your financial priorities, which you want to spend some time on because it is really the driver of the entire financial plan. So this is an actual family. We just called them the Smart Family. And so we did this plan for them. And so their kids' education was rated an 8 as a priority. Their retirement has been rated a 6. The husband is a first responder, and so he's got a pension. Spouse does not, and so they wanted to travel up to 15 grand a year. That's a reoccurring expense happening once a year, so you can put that in if you have those. And then the other thing they wanted is to save $250,000 by 2036 so that they could purchase a cottage. And so these are all the aspects of what their plan has been built around. Remember, we built this plan for financial wellness so that you can have hope and you can see clarity, and most importantly, you can be self-reliant. This is Financial Fitness 101, which is you having control over your money and you understanding both the cause and the effect of everything that you do. So like going to the gym every day, we just say you need to log on to Abby once a week, overview your data, ensure that you're on track, and see if anything's changed in your life whatsoever. So going to the financial plan quickly, how did those priorities set up? Well, the cottage is going to be 100% go for June the 6th, 2036. So that was a great target. The education for young Stacy, that's $17,000 and change a year, fully funded for a 4-year degree. Travel was a little light, about a 98% completion. And then retirement, they want to retire at 55. They're going to hit 71%. Now, they can move the priority from a 6 and increase that, and retirement will come out ahead, and that shortfall won't be there, but something else has to. Abby can't, is not a magician. She's not going to pull money out of the hat for you. This is about you understanding the impact of your priorities and your spends. And so I want to make sure that you're aware of that, but you have full control to change your priority or work on a priority, add or delete a priority. And so as we come along to the plan, first thing we notice is that it's kind of a bit of a hook page. They presently have $991,000, but they will grow at 6%. So if you want to know some of the defaults, here we are. We're using a 6% ETF growth rate, so very moderate risk. And life expectancy is to 90. There's your real estate appreciation, your salary growth, inflation rate. So these are all the defaults that we use. And as we scroll on here, the first thing you're going to see is a 4-month outlook of your life. And all of a sudden, Abby's saying 31% of your life will go towards investments and savings to your priorities. Say, well, how can that happen? I'm not at 31%. See the rest of the plan and it'll make sense to you. Here's their net income. This is their checking savings account. I want you to know that Abby views that checking and that savings account is like dead money. It's sitting at a 2%. There are interest rates of 14, 15, 16 and more in credit. And so Abby will not look at that and say, keep that $4,000 in your savings account at 2%. Use it to pay off if there's credit to be paid off. And then we break down recommended spends on all the aspects we talk about. You can see your debt payments in here, your mortgage and your other debt payments. You can see your expenses, both discretionary and non-discretionary. If you don't want to hover, great. We've got it broken down for you. Here's the big kicker for this family. They'll increase their net worth by 2044 by $575,000. The key part of that one came into retirement here, where if not for Abby and not for the tax optimization and not for the lower MERs, right, they're going to have about 600 grand, which is a shocking $600,535. That's 18% more than they would have been at their bank, which is a big deal. The debt analysis is really the coup de grace here because they were, watch this, they were able to save $2,051 a month. So all these debt payments got refinanced and into their home equity, and that saved them over $2,000 a month. And we use consumption smoothing, so we re-amortize it because mathematics is black and white, and they're better off to be re-amortized, and they're better off to save that $2,000. That's after taxes, which is amazing. And then that's what helps fund the cottage. That's what's funding the education. That's the additional cash flow that they didn't have to change their lifestyle, but they did have to reduce their debt payments because all that was going towards credit. And so that's what gave them a very unique situation here where they were saving. They're doing okay. They were saving about 7.2%, but over the next 4 months and moving forward, they're up about 31%. Now, Abby is live to data. So when you do your financial fitness on a weekly basis, if something's changed, great. Just update your data, save it, and then relook at the plan. But for this family, if they go forward with this plan, that's the big difference that they're going to see. And that difference shows up dramatically through other areas of their life. So this is the retirement asset accumulation that they're going to have, both in their TFSA and RSPs. There's a retirement asset balance they're going to have. This is the annual tax optimized retire income. So when you're a retire, every time you do your financial fitness, you want to have new priorities. So you saved all this money. What do you want to do, right? So you build a priority. I want to live in Europe 4 or 5 months of the year. I want to go out to eat. I want to rent a car or a Eurorail pass or whatever it's going to be. So now you have priorities later in life. Life is dynamic. It's always changing. And that's why it's so important for you to be on top of this with your financial fitness and ensure that you're using Abby on a weekly basis. You and your spouse, you and your better half, you sit down, you spend 20 minutes. Are we on target? Are we not? Did we make any changes? Like, you're going to work your entire life and spend more time at a job than anything else you do in your life. 20 minutes for your financial fitness just makes sense, right? That's the difference between people who are not winning financially and people who are winning financially. They spend time, and they work on themselves. And so we're saying spend 20 minutes a week using Abby and put you in place to all that you want out of life. That's your post-tax cash flow breakdown. And then finally, we have a Google Maps, like here's exactly what you have to do. And so we amortize those six debts. We're using consumption smoothing here and allowing you to save that $2,000 a month, pay this credit card out of your checking account, create a TFSA account, and then you can look forward in the future and say, well, what happens in 2040? What am I expecting to do, right? Well, life isn't static, so there's going to be differences here. But, I'm going to pick December, and all of a sudden, offsetting for inflation, there's your essential expenses, right, that you're going to have for that time, your non-essential expenses, the transfer that's going to have to happen, right? Every aspect of what you need to do, just like using Google Maps, is put into place as action items. It's like make a left at the next stoplights, right? Get onto the highway in 100 meters. Every aspect of your life is created for you, fully tax optimized, fully ready to go. And then we recommend lowest cost products in class. Why? Because we're sheepdogs. We're not going to let the sheep go to the wolves. If we can get you a lower mortgage, we're going to do that. Lower cost of insurance, we're going to do that. Lower cost of critical illness coverage, we're going to do that. Lower cost of auto and home insurance, we're going to do that, right? Lower cost, right? And manage expense ratios, your investments, we're going to do that. We are a one-stop holistic shop for every aspect of your life. And you have a money coach to work with you and help you get self-reliant. So there's no more excuses in the money game. Abby was created as your financial wellness assistant to work with you. And here's a great part. Abby Chat is waiting for you to answer any questions you want to. And then if there are more defined questions, here's the playground. Look at this. What happens if I add an expense? Boom, optimized. Can I purchase a home? Maybe you're in that position. Fill it out. Optimized. What happens if I switch my job, right? Great. Check it out. It gets optimized. Can I purchase a car? Can I afford a finance expense? We have a finding a home module coming and your mortgage eligibility coming. So any question you ask the chat programs out there today, you can ask Abby and get the answers customized to your data. It's exactly what you've been looking for your entire life. So this is just a quick demo to inspire you to onboard with us and get your Abby plan, right? And be part of the winner circle. Right? The people who are not winning financially are being taken advantage by massive institutions who don't care. We built this because we care. Built for Canadians, by Canadians, all right, and looking to expand it worldwide.